All right, welcome back to J Creates. I got like 4 projects going on here, and I got some time while I let paint dry. So I'm going to revisit a project that I did a couple of weeks back, the fence picket pumpkin. So I want to revisit that. I'm going to keep kind of the same design, but I'm going to do a little extra so I can put it out and stake it into the ground. So first thing I'm going to do, grab myself a fence picket. And again, going back to that other video, I'll put it up here, so if you want to watch that, you can see it. I'm going to cut myself, I'm going to stick around the same size. I think it was like 16, 13 and a half, and 12. So I'm going to cut 3 pieces out of that. I'm going to put dog ears on, go ahead and assemble it like I did the other one, but then we're going to do a little twist at the end because I got a specific place or specific reason to make it this way. But anyway, whether you saw that video or not, just stick with me on this one. I know it may be a repeat, but we're going to do a little twist at the end, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it and shut up, I guess. So keeping the dog ears, we want to use the dog ears because that's what helps it give it the rounded look. So I'm going to use the dog-eared one, the one that comes that way. This will be the center one. It's already got the dog ears on it. I'm going to dog ear all 4 corners of each of these. So I'm going to set my saw to 45 degrees. And I already still have a pencil mark on from the last time, so I'm just going to line it up with that pencil mark and just cut the corners off. Alright, so I dog-eared all 4 corners on these 2, left the dog ears on this one. I'm going to make myself a stem. I'm just going to leave it at 45. I'm going to cut a piece off here, however size you want to make it the stem. Actually, I'm not going to go 45. Let's give it a 22 and a half. So that's going to be the stem. Let me get these things sanded up real quick. I'm not going to make them super smooth, just knocking off all this green and the fuzziness, and then we'll come back for assembly. Well, I may have to go back and watch my own video again because I don't know if I did this on the last Picket pumpkin. I'm going to hit all the edges with the router just to give them a more rounded over pumpkin-y feel. You don't have to do this, and I'm not even sure if I did this in the other video, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, yeah, I know this is not the best setup. I do have a router table somewhere behind me, and I am working on cleaning up the shop. This whole side is being rethought, so in the process of that, I will uncover the router table for the future, but for now, that's how I'm doing it. Just making sure I'm careful. I know accidents can always happen, but they can always happen even on a router table. So we're going to go ahead and get this assembled, and then we're going to paint it. So to assemble this, we're going to use some brad nails and wood glue. Alright, so the twist on this is I'm not going to use this spacer. I want to make this so it sticks in the ground. So I have a piece. There's another piece of fence picket here. So this is scrap from the planter boxes I did this spring and summer, or whatever, whenever I did them. You can check out the video in the corner. And it already has the 45-degree angle on the bottom to help jam it into the ground. And I knew I was gonna use this, but I'll use this as the spacer, and I'll actually just connect it to the pumpkin, and then we'll be able to stick it in the ground. All right, well, I just sanded this real quick, and I took a chunk off the top. I don't know, 3-4 inches. This doesn't need to be that long. So let's get this assembled, and then we're gonna paint it. All right, so just remember, if you're gonna make this, you wanna leave space for your stem at the top. And then put your stake below the stem. So I kind of like that right there. So I'm just gonna mark it. And I'm gonna do the stake first, because that's gonna also be my spacer for the other two pieces. All right, so I'm just kind of going about 2 inches on either side of the stake. And I got that marked with a pencil. And then I'm gonna put the wood glue on here. Spread it around a little bit, you know. So I'm gonna line this up with my marks on the board. Nails in it. So now your other two boards can go wherever you want them, right? As long as they're flush at the bottom. Well, being that this is gonna stick in the ground, I guess it really doesn't matter if it's flush at the bottom, but it does look better. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put the glue right on the big piece of the pumpkin. Flush it up at the bottom. Squeeze it down, put some nails in it. So I just kind of stagger them up the back. And I put a bunch of extra ones in because this is going to be outside. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 10. That should hold it for a while. Plus the wood glue. I'll do the same thing on this side. The outdoor paint station. So I'm using Rust-Oleum, Rustic Orange, paint and primer, wood, metal, plastic, indoor and outdoor paint. This is going to be outside, so make sure if you're going to make this and it is going to be outside, get that indoor outdoor paint. There it is. It's just a different version of the fence picket pumpkin video that I did a little while back. So it is the same fence picket, except this time I took a router. I routed over all the edges as well. I said, in addition to the dog ears on the corners, I routed over just to give it a more rounded look. And I routed and gave it a rounded look on the stem. Painted the stem espresso brown. And I put it on a stake so you can stake it in the ground. So I think it came out pretty good. And I had no clue I was gonna do it today, but I did it, and here it is. So check out the original fence picket pumpkin video here. Leave a comment below and hit that subscribe button. And thanks, I'll see you on the next one.